Um, I feel like I should definitely talk about this, at least at the beginning portion, get out of the way. We did have, unfortunately, a tragedy happen. Um, on September 1st of 2021, actress and manager and former pro wrestler uh, Daffney, who wrestled in WCW and she also worked over at TNA, unfortunately passed away. I was a little bit more familiar with Daphne mainly from her TNA days. I don't remember her from WCW at all. I don't really remember her work over there. Again, I never really watched WCW. I watched more TNA, but even then, I haven't watched every single episode of TNA. But I do, in fact, have one of her matches. I think on DVD. I think it's a Slammiversary 2009. It was Daphne and I believe it was Raven versus Abyss and Taylor Wilde in the first ever mixed tag Monsters Ball match. Of course, Daphne also went through some barbed wire tables in the past. Daphne, we looked at her, especially back in the day. She was a very unique character. I'll say right now, if you look seeing some of her photo shoots, she was a very attractive woman. But she was also very charismatic, and one of the things she was known for is being a scream queen. She would scream a lot in her matches. She was very energetic. And from what I remember, there were a lot of people after her death. I mean, there was a lot of love for her. I mean, people like Velvet Sky and Angelina Love, Mick Foley, um, just etc. Just praising this woman, how very sweet she was, how charismatic she was, how friendly she was. And it sucks that she died due to suicide. So I guess that this happened during this would have happened I think during Dynamite, I believe, on AEW Dynamite. I guess I didn't watch the entire video, but unfortunately I did watch part of it. Apparently she was live on Instagram, and it looked like in her room, and she was talking about how alone she was. She was crying, saying like no one likes her, she's just alone, and you could hear a phone in the background like constantly ringing. And even on Twitter, when I went on Twitter, there were like people like Angela Love and those guys saying, "Someone help Daphne! Ask her to pick up the phone. Something's wrong." I didn't know what was going on. And when she made that Instagram video, I watched part of it, but it's hard for me to watch. And apparently during that Instagram video, she actually pulled out a real gun. Again, I never saw the entire Instagram video. So I can't confirm if that really did happen. But a lot of people were saying that she brought a live gun on Instagram. I don't believe she killed herself on Instagram. I don't believe that happened, but she did commit suicide, and it seems like she pulled the trigger on herself. And some people don't understand mental health. Look, I have mental health issues. I knew exactly what Daphne was feeling because I feel that way almost all the time. And when it comes to mental health, it affects everybody in different ways. With me, one minute I could be talking to you guys right now and I'm fine. I'm happy. I'm just looking forward to the weekend and just kind of doing my best to kind of live life. And the next thing you know, I'll just stop talking. I'll just be even extra quiet. I'll be depressed. Might even shed a few tears. And I get just slumped down. I feel like I'm not worth it in this world. That's just honestly how it is. It's not a choice. It's something that just happens. And unfortunately with Daphne, it poisoned her to the point where she felt like there was no return. And in her mind, she probably thought the best way to end her suffering was suicide. And it's awful because mental health is a serious issue, and sometimes people don't understand how serious this is. There are some people who don't have mental illness, but they at least understand like this is serious. Ashley Massaro reported she died due to suicide. She was depressed. She had a lot of fans. She had a lot of friends that cared about her. But I guess she just couldn't handle it. She died. She killed herself. And Daphne, unfortunately, fell into that category of she just felt alone. But again, I don't know what was going on with her life. I don't know if she had maybe some sort of drug issues. I don't know if there were just so many things in her life that were just piling on and she just couldn't take anymore. We have no idea exactly what happened. All we know is Daphne was not in the right place of mind. Clearly, something was severely bothering her, and she killed herself due to mental illness and depression. And like I said, I go through depression. I know guys like just Alex, and I could say his name because he's mentioned this before. Guys like Alex has depression. He has mental illness. Okay, a lot of guys have it. Some people can handle the mental illness better than others, but there are those who, as soon as they get it, they just snap, and they just either harm themselves or they're in their lives. They have to immediately go to rehab. It's a horrible situation. And it's unfortunate that someone like Daphne, who was 46 years old, just out of nowhere just snapped and just broke down and killed herself. The only thing I could say positively about this is that a lot of people came out to support mental illness, to say, hey, here's a suicide hotline, go get help. And again, there was not one bad person that said anything bad about her. Even for the people that did know her, seemed to genuinely thought she was pretty cool. There was a lot of love for Daphne. And it kind of reminds me of when Brody Lee died, just the outpour of love and respect for this woman. And there was a lot of controversy with Daphne and TNA. If you remember her, I guess the lawsuits of her getting injured and concussions. That's a whole other story. You have to go check out the Saw Monsters podcast for that. He talks about basically that of a rant back in the Dixie Carter TNA days and the controversy involving her and TNA back in the day. But there was a lot of people that loved Daphne. They worked with her. They got to hang out with her. She was just a fun individual. And unfortunately, she's gone now. And it's an awful situation. It's not just mental health, just suicide just in general. Just, it's a horrific thing for anybody to go through. I mean, how many times have you heard about kids at schools committing suicide due to bullying? It feels like suicide just gets increasingly more and more, and we need to be self-aware. It's a horrible situation, and I wish Daphne were still alive. I honestly would love to get a chance to meet Daphne. Just like I would love to meet people like Ashley Massaro, and unfortunately we'll never get to, or I get to meet Brody Lee in person, like face to face, and I'll never get that chance. But again, Brody Lee was a different story. I know he died with other health complications, yet we still don't even know that. But these are just horrible situations where, like I said, like Ashley and Daphne and probably some others who've committed suicide. And it's a horrific thing. When that happened, it was when she made that Instagram video, we were fearing for worse. We were just thinking, oh God, I hope we don't get the news. And then next day I find out, oh no, she died. Like I said, it's a hard thing to talk about. But seriously, get help, talk to somebody, and to anybody listening to this, you seriously need to talk to your friends. If you're a family member, talk to your other family or your friends. If you're someone that's doing mental health issues, you need to do what you can. Go to rehab. Try to find something happy in your life. Try to find ways to enjoy life. Talk to somebody. Find someone you know you can trust and talk to them. And for anybody that are friends with these individuals, like you guys, some of you guys are, hopefully if you're listening to this, to me, because I go through this, which I know you guys don't give a flying fuck. 95% of you don't. But you guys seriously need to contact the friends. Even if it's not a full blown conversation, just say hello. Just find out what's up. Because you don't know what's going on in my life. You don't know what's going on in other people's lives, like Daffney, or nothing. Get them the help. So that being said, I just want to say rest in peace to Daffney, aka Shannon. And I just want to say my condolences to Daphne's friends and family. And knowing that she's in a better place now, she'll get the rest in peace. And we'll miss her.